This is a comprehensive guide on how I do drum sampling in my music.
There's about 2 ways I go about finding a sample. My first technique is using this website called Rhythm Lab and going to their breakbeat collection. They have an archive of every single drum break to ever exist in any song. You can download it in WAV files, so it's at top quality. And I've heard samples from artists like Tyler the Creator, Kendrick, and Kanye. Like, they've used samples on here before. I'm not sure if they've used this website, but they definitely have a lot of good samples, and it's all in alphabetical order. And then my second method is just using something I've heard out in my day-to-day life, whether it's like some random thing I found on YouTube or something I've heard on the radio, like this song. Here's a drum break that I used in Delta 9. So from here, what you want to do is copy the URL and then paste it into this website called WAV Ninja, so that way you can download it in a WAV format. Download in WAV, not MP3. This is optimal quality. This is not optimal. Import your sample into your DAW. Go in and find the actual sample you want to isolate and split the very beginning of the first beat of that sample all the way to the end here that leads into the next beat, but cut it off right before it goes into that next beat. That way it will loop perfectly. For this song, I only chose 2 samples from that song. Here they are. Now what you want to do is a thing called time stretching, is where you line it up with the grid of the BPM you have. At this point I have 62 BPM, and you typically press Alt on your computer to time stretch it and drag it to the amount of time stretch you want it to be. This way it will line up with the BPM and play the actual sample to the BPM of your song. Now once you do some more arrangement, some mixing, and some effects on the drums, you can get them to sound like this. Time stretch on that snare too. And this is where you'll hear the second sample I had come in. There is another way to drum sample, chopping up each individual stem of the drum sample, the kick, the snare, the hi-hat, the toms, whatever, into a playable instrument yourself. The chopping method. Here is the sample I chose from an unreleased song of mine. Here are the isolated stems I chose. Now, to play these stems like an actual instrument, I use this program called Contact by Native Instruments. You just drag the stems into this little mapping tool, and then you can play it like this. Now, let me be clear. This is a paid program. It's quite a bit of money too. But if you want a free alternative, I know that Logic specifically comes with a built-in free sampler. I think GarageBand has it too. I'm not quite sure on that though. But now that you have everything set up here, all you need to do is play. If you found this video helpful, please like and follow and share with your musicians.